First video, because some of you asked for a tutorial on how I do my wood effect. So here it goes. Excuse everything. I've had a long, hard, sweaty day at work and it has not been pleasant, but I'll give it my best shot. Now, just to get you all started, and obviously excuse fingers when hands get in the way, here is literally all the paints I use. So here's the boat. So it's had the good old Duncan 2 thin coats of Mournfang Brown already on it. Oh, excuse me. And this is sort of ready to get the stripes on it. To save a bit of time, I did a little puddle of Mournfang Brown just here. And here's the colour. Here are the colours I'm going to add to get the sort of striping effect. Now, what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to change the direction of the striping because it's a different piece and it will just sort of break it up a bit as opposed to going one direction. So yeah, right, let's get cracking. So first thing, I'm going to do some of the darker stripes. So I'm going to get some Chaos Black, Ban Black, sorry, not Chaos Black anymore, and you just give it a good old mix like that, as you do. Nothing too fancy. Like this really isn't all that hard. I blagged this one day with an Onager June crawler, and yeah, it just sort of happened and it worked. So I did it again on a boat made of ether wood. So anyway, I'm just getting this nice and thin so it flows. Clean the brush. Ideally you want one of your thinner brushes to get going. So I've got my little tin. Sorry for the noise, sorry for the rattling. Nothing's really going on. Yeah, it's not professional, yada yada yada. Layer medium, layer small. There we go, that'll do. Nice small layer brush. Alright then, here we go. So we've got a bit of boat. Hopefully I don't knock anything over. And you want to get your brush wet. Just get the tip. And then you start getting your lines in. So just start streaking the lines along. It doesn't matter sort of how straight or you know, thick they are. They'll look more natural. Sorry for shaky hands. If you you know, you just sort of think what wood does when it's not you know, being a tree, of course. So you just not, you know, a few lines, don't have to be too neat. Just get them in. Anyway, I hope you've all had a lovely day in the sun. If you've had sun, that is. Apologies if you haven't. There we go. Sorry for the sorry for the shakes. It's been a long day. Do. So that's sort of like the first layer done. I know it doesn't look like a lot at the minute, and see, it's drying nice and quickly as well because paint's nice and thin. Nothing too drastic. Always wash your brushes out. That's how you do it. So I know it looks like I'm wasting paint in the minute, and yeah, I am, but that's just for, you know, the sake of showing you guys, and you know, I don't want to run out while I'm trying to show you how to do something. So then we just add a bit more black, a bit more Chaos Black to get it darker. Adds another layer, another splash of water in there just to get it nice and thin again. And then so there you go, nice and dark. So it should sort of dry like this one here. This is what I was using the other night, well, last night while I was painting. So yeah, just as another thing. Now occasionally I add knots in just to make it look a bit more woody. So you just pick a bit and you go, I want a knot right there. That's where I want him. Not really a big decision. Bob Ross all over this. First big decision, where do you want that knot? So anyway, get your tip on it. And then you just put the streaks in again. A few more streaks right alongside the ones you've already got. Again, you don't need to do full lines. Just sort of let it do what it wants to do. Should put some music on in the background, really, shouldn't I? Or do one of those Bob Ross cut eyes where he's got a little squirrel in his pocket. Sorry, I'll watch a lot of Bob Ross. I've name dropped him 3 times now, and that's probably going to get annoying. But listening to him helps me paint, so that's what I do. And once you're happy with the darker streaks, so say, yeah, look at me, I've got some dark streaks in there. Sorry, so you go, dark streaks. So another layer, and you go, okay, that's looking a bit better. You gotta have a bit of light, because you can't have darkness without light. Yep, can't have darkness without light. So get your paint nice and thin again, like Grandmaster Duncan says. Always remember to thin your paints. And add a bit of Carrick Stone, and this is the lighter bit. Well, that's not quite light enough for me. I like it a little bit lighter than that. I know it looks a bit swishy on the camera. I apologise again. So a bit more. And you can do whatever you want with your wood. It's your wood. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. That's still not quite light enough for me. Not quite picking up enough. There we go. That's got it. So a little bit more water just to thin him down. Beat the devil out of it. Right in. So skinny brush again. Then you just add in, sorry again if this is bad, but you add in your light streaks alongside your dark now. You just pick where you want it to go, and you follow a line. You fill in those gaps. Like I said, you don't need to be pretty. It's wood, it's natural. Again, I apologise for any sound discrepancies or anything. I'm not professional, not in the slightest. But you just kind of roll with it, don't you? Go with the flow. Once you're happy with your sort of striations, so sort of like on the rest of the model, and I've just put my thumb in it, fab. Put some a bit more in there. And I'll come on to these bits later, but so you see, there's your striations. And drop the boat, that's it, calm. That's how you do it. But yeah, so it matches that. So just give that a second to dry. Close all your pots. Obviously you don't want your paint to get wet. And now the risky bit, leaving the pot of Agrax Earthshade open. Give it a good shake, 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 shake. Get your big brush. Get yourself a nice little splash on the palette, which will probably result in several splashes. Like I see, I keep it held in my hand. Definitely don't leave it open. No spillages here, thank you. Just drag it out. You don't want too much. You don't want too much on your brush. and then you just and then you just go over it, and then that blends everything together. Then you get stray hairs from the dog or the cat, whichever furry creature you keep nearby. And there you have it. That'll dry up now, and then what I'll do is what helps is when you break it up. So when you put in your extra detail colours here, these fins will be iron alongside with these rivets, and then you put the gold in it, and then once you sort of put everything together, that's yeah, that should come up looking lovely. And I'll have another example. The first testing of it was done on this Onager Dream Crawler here, and that was done a lot skinnier because it's a lot smaller, but I hope you can see where a lot of the design features come from. And yeah, so it's drying up nicely, and that is literally all it is. Yeah, so I hope that video was helpful, and if you want to give it a go, give it a go. See you in a bit.